the deeper question is not what delivery platform you use. It's when you ask that question of, is AMP something we should consider in a life cycle stage? Then I would say the deeper point is actually the one you just said, which is if I build a bunch of stuff in one signal, I don't want to duplicate in CleverTap. And my point would actually be, you shouldn't want to do either. You shouldn't want to build all these stages at all. And I'll tell you why. Because the process that you described of identifying a particular sector and then building a cohort of, let's say, weekend users who are jazzed up on the weekend to order food, and then coming up with another one and then another one, and then going back into your data to try and find who those people are, and then loading a segment of users that are defined by that attribute or whatever, however you've defined it, and then loading that into one signal or CleverTap, and both are going to operate fairly similar in that perspective, and then sending a message and then looking at how it performs and then doing it again is death by operation. And it's what so many apps face. And the normal way to deal with it, because that's just been the reality, is for you to, over time, just build a very large CRM team and like have lots of people as you get very big, managing all of these subsegments and sub components of the journey. And then you start to face problems, let's say in January and February and March, where you've now set up 6 different campaigns, 6 different journey experiences. And now all of a sudden a user is eligible for 3 or 5 of them, and you have no way of orchestrating the role between them. And so now they're a weekend user, but they're also a 5 days since their last transaction user, and they're a user who likes sales. So now you're going to send them a sale message and it's been 5 days message and hey, it's the weekend message. And now they're going to get 3 or 4 messages on Saturday. They're going to get irritated and turn off. And then you're going to be faced with the problem of, oh, wow, by April or May, you're going to be thinking like, oh, my God, we got to control our frequency because we're sending way too many notifications. And that whole experience, that approach to CRM is strategically just, it's not how it should work in 2022. It's not how data layers work. It's not how user experience should work. So there is an alternative, like obviously, that's what we're building with AMP. Like that's our thesis, where it's not build it in one signal or build it in CleverTap and then not build it again, but keep building on top of it and then have these problems, but actually say, how can we do this process differently and more effectively and more scalably?